how do you get from Manila to Boracay? You could fly, that takes you less than an hour, or you could get a bus and a boat. That's what we did. The boat was at 7, so we set off around 1 PM from Manila to beat the traffic, and there's a bus that goes about every half an hour from the SM Mega Mall. We're currently at the terminal in Batangas, where we have gotten a bus from central Manila, air conditioned, perfectly nice, and arrived 3 hours before our ferry, the Starlite ferry. So we've gone through the process of leaving our electronic ticket that we printed out with them so that they could give us a physical paper ticket, which we then take to the place. We go and get a terminal fee paid, and when we get through, scan our bags, all very smooth in this nice little terminal, and then our ferry is in 3 hours. The ferry terminal's massive and was only opened 2 years ago after a big upgrade, but that wasn't without controversy, as terminal fees were hiked right up by over 200%. There's a couple different ferry operators that go from Batangas, some with better safety records than others. Ollie booked as Starlight, and with a 7 PM departure, it's a pretty good way of getting an overnight crossing to Cataclan, where we'll then travel over to Boracay when we arrive at 6 AM.
The management and staff of Starlite Ferries Incorporated welcomes you on board to MV Starlite Venus bound for Cataclan.
So we are on board the MV Starlite Venus, which will leave in about an hour's time to go from here in Batangas to Cataclan. This is our 2-person cabin.
We've got single beds, which seem to have... they have inbuilt pillows of some sort? Yeah. There's a few different classes on this boat. You can stay in economy bunk beds on the top deck, they don't have air conditioning. You could stay in tourist bunk beds, more like a hostel, which are air conditioned. Or you could stay as fancy as we did, with your own cabin. So this is the meal. Bit of rice, bit of mince. Yeah, actually looks alright. This is the fancy meal because we're in, we're in business class. And is any boat ride truly ready to depart without a small prayer?
Lord, please support us with your grace when we are tired. Please help us be patient in any trouble that may come on our way.
It's officially good night from us here on the sea of the Philippines. As we cruise, we should arrive around 5:30 in the morning tomorrow to the port of Cataclan, where we'll take our next boat over to Boracay. But for now, it's good night. Now, we were woken up at 4:30 in the morning, and the boat arrived at 5, which was an hour before we were supposed to. Normally, that's pretty good, but it did mean we didn't get that much sleep. Anyway, unfortunately, I was too tired to film the crossing over to Boracay, but I mean, it was dark anyway, so you can imagine what it was. But you basically leave the port, and you're literally right next to the other port, with boats to take you over to Boracay. Obviously, there's a couple more terminal fees to pay, but we didn't have to queue, and we arrived at the hotel even before the breakfast buffet opened at 6 AM. So, would I recommend this boat? Yeah, it's fun, we had a nice time, and you get to Boracay, which is just like the best.